Hello my dear friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane. I'm a life coach, a women's coach. I decided to make this channel a very honest place where I truly allow myself to be me and share whatever is coming to me, whatever is coming through me with other people. And at first it was very scary for me to take the camera and speak about some of that topics, especially sharing my own journey. But after doing a few of them, I realized that I not only enjoy sharing those stories because I personally come to my own realizations through sharing those stories, but I also started hearing positive reviews from the people that I know that started telling me, I didn't know that you went through all of that. I didn't know that you're this kind of person. So many people, they put masks and they try to cover who they really are in order to be liked, in order to be validated by other people. But this inauthentic energy can be felt. And this is not magnetic at all. I started realizing that people are actually drawn to the energy of authenticity when you are being who you are, when you are taking all the masks away and sharing your true self, not being afraid to be your true self. And this is the real self-confidence. This is the real self-love. When you're not betraying yourself by putting masks and showing people a picture of imaginary person that doesn't really exist. And then all the problems happen. How long are you able to keep that mask? How long are you able to pretend who you are not? A few years ago, after a few experiences with my relationships, I discovered that I have this avoidant attachment style. You probably heard of it because this information is all over the internet, that there are different types of attachment style that exist. It really influences and impacts the way you communicate with other people, the way you are being in your relationships, the way you interact overall. I found out that I have this avoidant attachment style, which is when you are trying to run away from an intimate connection, from this intimacy that two people might have. And it's not only about relationships. It might be also in friendship. It might be also in simple communication with other people. Your ability to be open, your ability to be who you are. I realized that at some point I started being afraid of people. It was always easier for me to be alone than to be with other people. There were periods in my life where I was simply isolating myself from everyone. And during those periods, I've been studying a lot, learning new information, developing my skills. But I always felt so sad and lonely during those periods of isolation. I could feel that I really want to be with people. I really want to communicate. But for some reason, there is a fear. There is some sort of a resistance towards that. So I was choosing to be with myself instead of spending time with other people, making new friends, creating some groups or being part of some groups. I was never part of any groups. You know, when people all gather together, they hang out, they sit in the circle. I could never understand it. I always had one or two friends, and I felt comfortable in that. I have a lot of friends around the world, so many good friends, but it was never a group. I've been always asking myself this question: why, you know deep down that you crave this intimacy, you crave this connection, because connection is what gives purpose to our life. We're here to connect, we're here to communicate, we're here to learn from one another. And only through one another we're able to learn, right? Because when you're sitting alone, it's like the monks, you know, those monks that are sitting somewhere in the mountain or in the cave all by themselves. They're experiencing a lot of peace because there are no triggers near them, other people who may trigger them. So they experience this balance, this peace within themselves, and this is an amazing feeling. And that's what I was always thriving. I started prioritizing my peace over those triggers, over that pain body. If you've read Eckhart Tolle, you know what I'm talking about. This pain body that you're experiencing when someone triggers you during your communication, during some sort of a connection. I was preferring that to be like a monk, to meditate, to be in that state of bliss, peace within me. But part of me was always longing for something more, for a connection, for communication, for intimacy, for warmth, for love. So I started exploring this avoidant attachment style in order to understand what is the main wound of that. Why am I like that? And it's a very interesting thing, because usually it's more men who are avoidant, and women tend to have another style of attachment more often, which is anxious. When you constantly need other people around you, when you constantly need to be surrounded by someone, because only through that you feel safe, you feel loved. This is another story, which is also very interesting to explore. I really recommend you to read a book which is called Attached, that I read like 2 years ago, once I had a major breakup in my life that really impacted my growth. So back then, I wanted to understand, why am I afraid to be intimate? I'm not talking about sexual connection, physical connection. It's about emotional connection. It's about opening up, being your vulnerable self, allowing yourself to be vulnerable with another person, allowing yourself to take all of those masks and just be yourself. So I started learning, studying a lot about this attachment style. And both of that attachment styles, anxious attachment and avoidant, they all want the same. Both of them thrive for love, for safety, for being understood. But when it comes to anxious, it's more that the person clings, the person likes to merge with you, whereas avoidant is afraid to be immersed with someone, to get close, because avoidant is afraid to be hurt. because there was an experience before, either in the childhood, most probably in the childhood, or in the early relationships, when this person was hurt, when he or she opened up. And after experiencing that pain, after experiencing that disappointment, that person decided to close off and never open the heart again, because being hurt is so scary, is so painful. So the avoidant tries to avoid all the possibilities of being hurt again, of feeling that pain again. It's very sad, because there are so many people in this world who suffer from that, who really crave and want this intimacy and connection, but for some reason there is this fear of being rejected, of not being accepted for who you are, of opening your heart and being hurt. So what has helped me in my journey, which I want to share right now, it's actually very interesting, because I came here to speak about a completely different thing. This needs to be shared. I also had a few sessions with clients who were coming to me with the same query. I'm afraid to love. I'm afraid to open my heart. I'm afraid to invite relationships into my life, because I don't want to be hurt again. I don't want to experience that pain again. What has helped me on my journey of healing the avoidant attachment style is first growing and healing the core of who I am, that self-love, nourishing myself, allowing myself to receive that love that I was always craving to receive in other people, in relationships. Knowing that only you are able to give you that source of love. And you're the first one who needs to give this source of love to yourself. And only after that you're able to build relationships where you're not only taking that love which is lacking in you, but also you're able to give. You're able to give something to another person because you're so full of this love. At the end of the day, what has helped me is to realize that love was always in me. And wherever the circumstances are, you never know how things gonna happen. And that's why we attach so easily to our partners, because we're afraid that they're gonna leave and this is gonna crash our world. It's gonna make us hurt because they have the source of that love. So they're gonna take away the source. And that's why it hurts so much. Because you didn't fulfill yourself at the first place. And then you're trying to take that source of love from another person. By the way, another person feels it and he wants to run away. This is not a genuine connection. This is not a genuine love, balanced union of two people. So when this person leaves, you're left alone without that source. And you think that only that person could give you that source. So first, it's very important to learn how to find that love within you, how to fulfill yourself with that love. And when you fulfill yourself with that love, self-love, contentment, then you're not afraid anymore of who's gonna leave. In every relationship, there should be a secure attachment. It is normal when two people live together, when two people see each other every day. Of course, they attach a little bit to one another. And if this is secure attachment, which is also described in the book Attached, I really recommend you to read it if you're struggling with something like that. It is inevitable that you're gonna get attached a little bit to the person you're with. But it's so important not to lose yourself in that relationships, not to lose your core, not to lose who you are. And always remember that another person is not your donor, that you need to cultivate love within yourself first. Also, what helped me release that fear is to understand that when you love someone, it is impossible not to experience grief when this person leaves. It is like another side of the coin, love and grief. So if you want to experience that feeling of love, you also need to be ready to experience grief. It's the other side of the coin. So you can be afraid of that, you can run from other people, but you will never feel what it is to truly love, to be in this beautiful connection between two, which all people deep down are thriving. But there's always another side. There's always a risk that one day this person will wake up and say, I don't want to be with you anymore. Maybe you grow apart. Sometimes it happens in relationships. And of course you would feel hurt. Of course you would feel pain. Because you have some sort of attachment to this person. Because you love this person. Because he was part of your journey, part of your life. But it's very important to understand that this might happen. We are all free souls, and you never know what is happening in the journey of another person. So you can either close yourself and say, I will never invite a deep connection into my life because I'm afraid to be hurt. Or you can understand that even if another person is gonna leave, you're still gonna have that source within you. The source of love is within you, and it was always there. So when you realize that, when you learn how to cultivate it, when you grow that self-love, when you know how to fulfill yourself, when you are interested of being with yourself, when your life is interesting, no matter if you have partner or no, it will be easier not to attach to another person in the relationships. Because you will have a strong sense of self, and then you're able to give this love to another person. And that's what is love all about. It's about giving. It's about opening your heart. It's about sharing. It's about being compassionate. It's about listening. It's about being there for another person. But you can only do that once you've fulfilled yourself and you have something to give to another person. To conclude this video, understand yourself first. Find who you are. Become comfortable of being with yourself. Fall in love with your life. Find that source of love within you. Open your heart. Allow yourself to be hurt. Because it is inevitable, if you allow yourself to love someone, that one day you may lose this person. But you can stay all alone and hide and crave that connection, that longing. Or you can allow yourself to go on that journey. Open your heart without being afraid to be hurt. Because love is within you. The source is within you, and no one can take it away from you if you cultivate it within you first. If you enter relationships from this standpoint. Same happens in a friendship. What are you able to give to another person? Give it to yourself first. And then you would be able to share this beautiful energy with others. I'm gonna be finishing this video here. I feel a lot of peace now within me. And this feeling of love, this feeling of contentment, this feeling of wholeness. And I really try to transfer you this energy through the video. If you're interested to work with me, if you have a certain question in regards to career, relationships, money, that you want to elaborate, that you want to discuss deeper, and find the core block and wound that is stopping you from having the desired future, the desired outcome, I invite you to work with me. I'm gonna leave all the links in the description box for this video, where you can find me, my social media platforms, as well as the link where you can book a session with me or a 8 weeks mentorship with me. And let's embark on this beautiful journey of transformation of self, of achieving our highest dreams, goals, and activating our potential together. If you liked this video, if this video gave you an interesting perspective, a clue, an insight, and made you feel inspired, motivated, more connected to yourself, put the like for this video, leave a comment, share your story if your story is similar or you want to share your unique experience that has happened in your life. Subscribe to this channel and I'll see you in my next video.